Welcome to my channel.
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Once upon a time, in a far-away kingdom, there lived a beautiful princess named Snow White. She lived with her father and mother. But her mother was her stepmother. The queen was beautiful on the outside, but jealous and cruel on the inside. The queen had a magic mirror. Every day she would ask it, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" And the mirror would always answer, "You, my queen, are the fairest of them all." The answer always made her smile and happy. But as the time passes, Snow White grew older, and her beauty and kindness began to shine even brighter. One day, when the queen asked the mirror, it replied, "Snow White is the fairest of them all." It made the queen furious. She made a wicked plan. She called the royal guard and ordered, "Take Snow White deep into the forest and never bring her back." The guard led Snow White far into the forest. But when he looked her, he could not do her harm. "Run away," he whispered, "and never return to the castle." Then he left. Snow White was alone and frightened. She ran through the forest. Suddenly, she found a tiny cottage hidden among the trees. She opened the door and stepped inside. She saw tiny little furniture in every room. When she saw 7 tiny beds, she lay down and fell fast asleep. That evening, the owners of the cottage returned. They were 7 dwarfs. When they saw Snow White, they gathered around and surprised. Snow White woke up and told her story. The dwarfs were kind. They said, "You can stay with us." Soon they became good friends. The queen once again asked, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" And the mirror replied, "Snow White, who lives with the 7 dwarfs, is the fairest of them all." The queen became furious. Using dark magic, she turned herself into a witch. She started making poisonous boiling water. She made shiny red apple and filled it with a terrible sleeping spell. Now she wanted to make Snow White eat the apple. She carried the apple basket and disguised herself into an old woman. All the 7 dwarfs were out on their work, and Snow White was alone at home. While she was cleaning, the queen traveled to the cottage and knocked on the door. Snow White opened the door. "Hello, dear. Would you like to try a special apple? It is the sweetest one." The apple looked delicious. She took one small bite and suddenly her eyes closed. The queen laughed wickedly and disappeared. When the dwarfs found her, they cried a lot. They loved her so much that they kept her in a glass box. Few days later, a prince came to visit the place. Luckily, he found the Snow White sleeping in the glass box. Prince tried to wake her up, Suddenly, Snow White's eyes fluttered open. The spell was broken. She told her story to the prince. Prince asked her to go with him where she will be safe. They said goodbye to all the 7 dwarfs and promised to meet them oftenly. Then they left to live happily ever after. And the evil queen's anger grew so hot that it shattered her magic forever. And she vanished, never to return. Like and subscribe.